right. Hello, everyone. So, we're going to get this started. This is episode one of over 100,000 minutes of music. It's definitely a lot of music. So, this is definitely going to be your host, the one and only TGA, stands for The Great Animus. The name itself is not really the point of concern here. There's actually no concern there at all. It is just a name I've been using forever when I play games online. And for the most part, it stuck with me. People love it. I've grown to it. And I was just like, let's just roll with it. So that is me and your host, The Great Animus. And again, this is over 100,000 minutes music stream. Thank you, Spotify, for keeping track of that. That name is probably going to be in the works. I feel like it's a mouthful, and we're probably going to change it. But at the time of the moment here, it just seemed legit. Like, it's right to the point. When you see it, you just know. It's over 100,000 minutes. Now, going into those 100,000 minutes, to be fair here, it was actually more like 94,344 minutes on Spotify. But then YouTube was like, oh, guess what? You have 8,170 minutes. And I'm like, well, I did it. I have definitely surpassed 100,000 minutes. Because when Spotify Wrapped came out, and we all know it's the greatest time of the year, when Spotify Wrapped came out and I saw that, and I was like, all right, next year we have a goal. Next year we have a goal to surpass 100,000 minutes. I am still going to try it. We'll see what we can do. I was very close on Spotify alone. But again, thank you, YouTube, for, I guess, keeping track of those additional 8,000 minutes. So, as far as numbers and metrics go, hope you guys like math. I definitely do not. Unless I think I passively like math, but I definitely don't. But anyway, okay, to be fair, I just didn't like math class. I guess to be more fair, not the point. Not the point. Music is the point. So anyway, back to math though. Metric-wise, in total, that is 71 days of just pure music. It's a lot of minutes, a lot of hours, and a lot of soundtracks, all right? I just really love music. I have it on at every moment I can. That, I think, definitely solidifies that. So, with more numbers and fun metrics here, Spotify Wrapped has told me that I have listened to 102 genres, which, to be fair, I mean, Spotify is great. I love Spotify. But to be more fair here, they do have a lot of unknown super sub-genres that, like, I guess they exist. But, like, you kind of question yourself and say, is that real or is that just that? But hey, it's all about the algorithm and essentially routing you music that you like or can find out that you like. So, doesn't matter. Metric to metric, that's what it is. My top 5, by no surprise to me, even though, to me, 2 of them are kind of 2 in the same, or at least one of them is more or less like a blanket category or an over category. But I guess 2 of them kind of are. Who cares? I'm just here to distribute what I got. Let's unwrap this bad boy. So, of those 102 genres, my top 5, should we go top to bottom or bottom up? Nah, we're doing top to bottom. Alright, so number 1, it was rap. Apparently, rap music's number 1. That's not an entire surprise. So, boom, bada bing, we got the rap. Number 2, by also no surprise really whatsoever for me, was future bass. What can I say? I like some EDM, a bass head. Every now and then. I have a very specific type of music that I listen to, and we'll definitely get into that over these podcasts and whatnot, and what I like, why I like it, and so on and so on. But anyway, melodic bass is definitely the way to go. Number 3. You can take a wild guess. Give you a moment there to guess. Keep guessing. Too late. Alternative R&B. I don't really know how I got alternative. But then again, I guess that actually kind of makes sense that it's more alternative. Yeah, that's accurate. Alrighty, number 4, which is kind of the same as number 2, but if you kind of piece it together and really start digging deep, I guess they're different, but depends how you look at it. It's all about perspective. That's what we're here for. Anyway, number 4 was EDM. Just straight up, flat out EDM. That's it. Yeah, I know, right? And then number 5. You ready for this? It was indie hip hop. Indie hip hop was number 5, which, that's pretty accurate. Not surprised at all. But now you know what I listen to for my top 5. As far as the other, I'm gonna have to do math. The other 98? Nope, 97. Something like that. The other 90 plus genres, well, doesn't matter. We'll get there when we get there. Or not. I'm sure I can find out. Well, I can't find out all 90, but I can definitely find other. Who cares? We're going to listen to some music. I'm going to let y'all know what I'm listening to. I'm going to share it. You can find out. Say if you like it or not. That's up to you. I'm just here to share. That's what I'm here for. But moving on from my genres. So next up on the Spotify Wrapped, Arizona, where you at? Because apparently I'm supposed to be in Arizona. I'm not, but apparently I have a lot of artists that I share. Top artists that I listen to. People listen to people that I like in Arizona. There we go. That's the wording we're using here. So Arizona, apparently y'all my peoples. Y'all my peoples then. Guess I gotta go to Arizona one day. Because apparently y'all, like me, like the artist Boz. I love me some Bozzy. Denzel Curry. Everybody likes Denzel Curry, right? Yeah. Especially Arizona. And then we got Sam G, who honestly, the last name, I'm probably going to butcher it. I think I mastered it at one point of saying it. I just call him Sam G for short. Because quite frankly, if you type in Sam G, chances are he's going to pop up. But it's Sam Gilliatry. Gellaiitry. Gilliatry. Anyway, I heard somebody say it online a few times. I'm like, I think he got it wrong. In fact, the person that was actually interviewing him even was like, I'm probably going to mess it up, but I'm going to try. He didn't really care. I think he was close enough. If not, he definitely got it. He kept saying it, so obviously it wasn't a problem. Either that or he's, I guess, used to getting his name butchered. But Sam G, you'll hear his name again. I'm definitely sure of it. But yeah, he was my artist I share with Arizona. Those are my top 3 artists in Arizona, apparently. Arizona, y'all my peoples. Which is, honestly, Arizona isn't really a place I think about visiting, but here Arizona isn't bad. It's just hot. I'm not sure I can deal with that, all that heat. Unless I got AC, but I don't know. I'll visit Arizona in the winter. Anyway, moving on. So, more metrics. We're unwrapping all of this stuff here. So, we have 9,747 different songs played, which, considering there's a decent amount of that, and then you have all these various playlists, and then I do repeat a lot of things. But honestly, considering that I did listen to 9,000 different songs, that in its own is actually pretty impressive. Well, almost 10,000 different songs. But I do try and branch out and find some new music, and I do like to switch it up. So that's still a pretty high number. I am still genuinely kind of surprised that I actually got that many songs played. But then again, I do listen to a lot of music. And Spotify does have a lot of different playlists. So thank you, Spotify, for helping me discover a lot of different songs. Of those almost 10,000 songs, my number 1 song for the year was Pass By Pell. That's Pell. That was my number 1 song. Apparently, not too surprisingly, because I remember having that song on repeat for a hot minute. I don't know why. But apparently it was connecting with me for a hot minute, or I guess more like a few hours. Because I listened to that 127 times. That is. Should we do some math? I don't feel like doing math. The point is, this is at least an hour. At least an hour. And that's an understatement. Y'all can do the math. But definitely give that song a listen, because clearly it's my number one song. And again, that song is Pass by Pell. Incredible song. Incredible artist. Yes. That's all the words I have for that one. I was gonna like dive into that song, but like without listening to it right now, it's like I could explain it, but it's all storytelling. You just gotta listen to the song, all right? It's just a great song. You can connect with it, or not, or just like it. That's a good beat. He's a good artist. Regardless, moving on. Again, I'm not trying to do like super deep dives. This is more like my we're here and we're doing this first episode type thing, which is basically just me unwrapping Spotty. Yeah, I call it Spotty for short, which isn't much shorter, but hey, one less syllable. All right, wait, no. Spotty. Yeah, one less syllable. All right, number 2. As far as my top 5 songs, we have Serotonin by Sam G. I told you that name was going to come back up again, didn't I? Write it down, remember it, look it up, add it to your library, do something. But that again is Serotonin by Sam G, or Gilliatry. Gellaitry. Sam G. All right. Number 3, if y'all can get a drum roll, we got Sailor by Toby Lou. Toby Lou, discovered him, I think, recently. If not last year, the year before, or even before that. But I really started listening to him like late last year and this year. Yeah, Toby Lou's definitely grown to one of my favorite artists for sure. So it's exciting to see him release new music. At number 4, we got Play Catch Up by Chris Brown. And at number 5, which, is that surprising? Nah, it's not too surprising. If it wasn't top 5, I knew it was going to be top 10. I'm actually surprised a different song isn't up there, but hey, Spotify knows. It's probably number 6, but there is no number 6 song on this list. So top 5 is going to be Fantasy. Actually, that's probably because of YouTube. Man, YouTube, whatever. Number 5 is Fantasy by Kelly Uchis. Uchis. Kelly Uchis. Pronunciations are difficult. I can read. And yeah, that's featuring Don Toliver. So those are my top 5 songs of the year. Thank you, Spotify. Moving on. So, again, a lot of music, a lot of minutes, a lot of genres. But I've listened to almost 4,000 artists this year. 3,957 different artists, which is kind of bizarre. I didn't think I did that, but I did. But also, I guess it depends on like those sub-metrics, that you don't know exist, but they are there. Like, if you ever right-click a song and then hit like show information or details, and it kind of tells you like the producer, who published it. And for some songs, and I guess the artist or company that puts it up there, they'll put even more information, like writers, co-writers, performer. Like, they'll put more information on there. So honestly, 3,957. Do I think I really listen to that many different artists? No. But I mean, hey, that's a whole year. Some artists obviously I don't listen to much more than other artists. Sometimes I just check them out. Sometimes it's on shuffle and something new comes up. So I mean, it's definitely possible I did. And again, I listen to a lot of different genres. So somewhere along the way, I definitely did. I mean, I guess Spotify knows more than I do. I apparently don't know that. I'm not going to count it. I do not have a tally marker that says, hey, one new artist today. Nope, sure don't. So we're going to have to trust Spotify on that one. But again, you'll start looking at metrics and how they actually count it up, and if they include, like writers and stuff like that, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, almost 4,000 artists. Boom. Now, of those 4,000 artists almost, my number 1 artist, I'm going to let you try and take a guess here. I mean, you guys have information so far about what I listen to. You don't really know what I like that much, but you can kind of guess. So, I mean, there's a lot of artists out there, but one of them, one of those artists is number one. And by those artists, I will be fair and say that that artist is not on the list of anybody I've mentioned so far. So you can eliminate like what, 10 people already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, about 10. So yeah, give y'all a second here. I'm gonna let it breathe. Do a little drum roll. And then get a 3, a 2, a 1. I'm at the center of the Tootsie Pop. My number one artist coming in at 3,568 minutes. It's a lot of minutes, ain't it? Was Lupe Fiasco. I guess I'm his number one fan. I must be. I definitely must be, because it says that I'm his top 0.01 listener. That means I'm not just the 1%. I am the 1%. And by saying 1% again the second time, I'm more or less emphasizing the 0.1%. Yeah, so Lupe, where you at, G? Yeah, it says I got 3,568 minutes and 0.01 top listener. I wonder if like artists get like a Spotify rap of their own, like that they can see, like, hey, your music's on our thing. Here's your rap for who listens to you and where they from and that kind of stuff. Like that, they probably do. I don't know, but if they do have one, I would kind of like to see that. Like how many minutes people listen to them. Like, you know, essentially the metrics that we get, but in an artist view. That would be cool. That would be pretty sweet to see. Metrics are a thing. Yeah. So it says my top song for Lupe was actually King Nas by obviously Lupe Fiasco. Wonderful song. I'm kind of surprised that was my top one, but like not really. I don't listen to it like super often, like super repeat type often, but it definitely does come on quite a bit. And it definitely is like a good go-to song that I'll pick out if I'm like, all right, I need some Lupe right quick. Or like I'm in this kind of zone, then yeah, I'll put some Lupe on, and that's definitely like what I'm always going for. So I guess it's not too surprising, but I was expecting a different song. But we'll get to that later. Because yeah, Lupe gonna come up definitely in a future episode. I'll tell you that right now. Because obviously, I'm a huge Lupe fan, clear as day. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna do any deep dives or anything quite yet, but just know he coming up. So y'all better start listening to Lupe yourselves. So moving on from that, we know that Lupe was number one, and the following four artists, we got IDK at number 2. At number 3, should be almost no surprise. I guess everything is a surprise because you really don't know. But considering what I said previously, I mean, one of these names is bound to pop up, right? I guess not really. But this one definitely did. Denzel Curry and Sam G. So where you at, Arizona? To be more specific, it was Tempe, Arizona. So Tempe, Arizona, where you at? Represent. Because apparently, yeah. Again, coming in at number 3 and number 4, they were already represented in Arizona. So after that, number 5 is my top 5th artist. That sounds weird. Top 5th artist. I don't think that's yeah, that's definitely not grammatical. Anyway, we got Wiz Khalifa, which honestly, I didn't expect that one. I really didn't. I'm actually kind of surprised he hit top 5. Like, honestly, definitely is one of my favorite rappers for sure. But I don't think I've listened to as much Wiz Khalifa as I thought I did this year. I think I definitely intended to, but I was listening to obviously so many other artists and music. I'm glad he's up there, because I mean, I don't know who else I think would be up there, but I didn't think I listened to that much Wiz this year. I guess there was a few moments I did listen to a lot of Wiz, but I could think of a few other artists that I could definitely think would have stolen top 5. So, hey, regardless, he's up there. So there you are, Wiz. Top 5. Now, Spotify calls me the time traveler. Spotify calls me the time traveler. Because apparently I jump all over the damn place. I don't like listen to just new music or just modern music. And I kind of jump all over. It kind of depends on how I feel. But same time though, when you listen to artists that have also been in the game, as they say, that have been making music for years on end. I mean, their music also spans like 10 plus years. So by no surprise, I'm listening to an artist catalog, and then I'm like back here in like 2010 or '06, and then I'm listening to the same thing or the same artist essentially, just now in like 2018, 2020, 2022, and it's like, okay. So to be fair, the artists I listen to have usually been in the game quite a bit. A good amount of them. And I guess, quite frankly, the ones I mentioned have been in for, I mean, shoot. I'd say at least 5. That's more of an understatement. They've been in for at least like 7 to 8 years. But aside from that point, I mean, I do also jump around from like artists that have stopped making music or do more behind the scene things. And sometimes I go back to the classics. Sometimes I go to the old school. I mean, shoot. I do time travel. I do really be all over the place. I just really like music. Clear as day. I like all kinds of music. I listen to just about anything. Just depends on how I feel and what I want. I mean, shoot. I'll pull out some classical and jazz in a minute. Not like a whole lot. But every once in a blue moon, it does come up. So, again, by no surprise, I am a time traveler. Interesting. I didn't think I was that's pretty accurate. Yeah. Spotify says I have old school songs on repeat sometimes. That's no surprise. Picked up a lot of Pac and Biggie, that's for sure. And then I was in the 90s, 90s era for quite a bit, for a few months. So, yeah, that's not surprising. I like it all. So, moving on from time traveling, which also inspired like my whole profile picture, image, podcast picture, the banner, that thing. Yeah, I use AI to make that because I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. But actually, it wasn't based on time traveler. It was actually more based around the fact that I listened to a bunch of music. So I was like trying to get like a banner for the podcast, right? I was like, what would be a good one? Like, what is something that speaks to me that I think is a great idea? And then I was like, well, time, because I listen to a lot of music and I obviously spend a lot of time listening to it. So I was like, I should try and do something like that. Now, I'm no artist. I can't draw to save my life or paint. I would love to, but I definitely can't. And I surely don't have the time for it either, unfortunately. But that's a different story. Long story short, I resorted to using tools of the internet, and I typed up some words that could make me some things in my own vision, and I was like, that's it right there. So, yeah, the picture, I'm not sure how big it's going to show up or how clear it is. It is a grandfather clock, and it's inspired, like the artistic style of it is like inspired by music. And then I was like, all right, now make it out of musical instruments. So like you see like musical instruments, you see like the musical details in it. And then I think the last bit I added to it was the time traveler effect of like, okay, you're down here and you're up here. So I took like an old school style, applied like a mid school type of like theme to it. And then I was like, great, now make it futuristic. So I mixed like 3 different things in one. It was wild. And obviously, like I said, it's a clock because time. And then I was like, anyway, that's not really important, but it's kind of is. It's kind of cool. Thought process. So yeah, moving on from that, we are aware I'm a time traveler. So essentially, like I said, the whole point of me doing this podcast is really the fact that I listen to a lot of music. And I don't normally share my music. People always ask me, like, what I'm listening to or to play something. I'm like, I don't want to play nothing. I don't want to play nothing. Because I'm very, like, self-conscious, like, my own music. And, like, I know what I listen to and what I like. And clearly everybody has their own preferences on what they like. So I'm like, man, you might like that, but I know I like this, but you guys might not like it. So I don't really play a lot of music. When I do, it's usually like in my own car, in which case, ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can and can't play on my own car, you feel me? Shoot, that's my rule. You don't like it? Well, jump out the car. Or get some headphones. I don't care. But I do try and stay fair and conscious and be like, all right, does anybody want to play something or want a recommendation? I ain't gonna front. I don't always really want to hear what they want. Usually they don't care anyway and just say, nah, what you got's good. So I'm like, good. There's no problems then. And then I smile and give them a glare. But, yeah, no. So people do like my music, but I'm just very self-conscious of what I listen to and share. Because sometimes I'm like, y'all ain't gonna like this. Or it's like not the mood y'all in. I'm like, we can't share this. But then like I'll be sitting there and somebody's playing something. I'm like, man, this shit is whack. I'm like, I should just play my own music. But I'm like, nah, can't be that guy. So yeah, normally I don't share my music. But I guess I figured if I got this much music to listen to, I might as well start to share it some way or another. And then this way I can like go in depth and explain why I like something or why I chose it or how I understand it and like really kind of dive into it myself and get my perspective of it. Because I mean, again, everybody listens to things differently. Everybody understands things differently. And it's always interesting hearing other people's thoughts on music, especially when it comes to like different artists. I mean, I can name a multitude of artists and conversations I've had with people that either don't like certain artists to listen to, or even their music, or they don't like a certain song, or they listen to a song because of a certain reason. It's just like, I get it. Everybody listens to things because of different reasons. But it's okay to have a wrong opinion, as my friend always says. You can be wrong. You can say the song is bad and just know that you're wrong. But, nah, for real though, I mean, I get it. Like, some people just want the hype shit. That's cool. Some people want introspective shit. That's great. I mean, personally, I'm more on the introspective side. Yeah, you know what? We'll dive into that another time. That's probably gonna be episode number 2. Is my kind of taste and preferences and what I like when I listen to certain things. We'll dive into that some more. This is more or less like my unwrapped and what we're about to start doing here. So now I know what I'm about to start doing. I'm about to go into it some more in the next vid. Well, it's not really a video, it's just an audio. In the next cast, I'm gonna go into all those details a bit more, as far as like what I listen to, why I listen to it, when I listen to it, that kind of deal. Like, you know, because obviously I have a few different genres. It's all depends. You know, it all just depends. Everything varies. But yeah, that is definitely it for now. I mean, I definitely hope to see a lot of y'all back here on some future episodes, because I'm gonna be sharing some music for sure. I'm gonna try and get more information prepared ahead of time. That way, when I do these dives and whatnot, especially if I'm gonna pick like an artist or an album, that I can like really go into it. I can do a lot of that off the top of my head, but if I'm like actively listening to it or recently listening to it, I can give it to you fresh. So yeah, right now I ain't got much prepared. I mean, I can lay out a few songs and a few artists real quick and be like, boom, bada bing. But I feel like I already did that by going through my Wrapped. I mean, shoot, as of right now, you already got a few artists and a few albums and stuff that I listen to. But yeah, the game plan is to kind of lay it out like, hey, here's an artist or a few artists. Here's a few songs to listen to for like the week. Or here's a song that really stood out for the week. Like, here's an album, and then I'll just kind of go over those. But I ain't gonna do that right now. Like I said, this is just the first intro episode of the Wrapped to get everything started and set the tone. And we gonna go from there. So, y'all enjoy yourselves. There is also a playlist I have associated with this. It's actually, I may actually made it from my Twitch instead, because you can't play music while streaming anymore, because why would they ever let you do that? But it's not themed in any way. It's literally just music that I listen to and I like, and I'm like, oh, you know what, people might like this, and I kind of just throw it in there. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's just stuff that I genuinely have liked and is pretty different and diverse. So check that out. Hopefully you like something in there, at least something. But yeah, I'm gonna head out of here. Probably go for a run because I've been eating too much candy. So yeah, y'all stay safe. Listen to music. Look both ways for crossing the road. Be nice and chillax. Until next time, rack up the minutes.